Well, good evening and welcome once again to Speed Racing Network. I'm Greg Olenek, joined by Brandon Domain here as always on Wednesday nights. Brandon, we crowned ourselves a champion the other night and looking to do the same here tonight. It is the final week of the truck season and it is going to be a good one here. 95 laps at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Absolutely, and unlike last night, we got to get used to saying Championship 6 because we had that tie above the cut line for that 5th and 6th position, so we're going to have one extra driver going for that championship tonight. It's just going to be so exciting. We talked about it all night last night, how many lanes that there are around this racetrack, ways that you can make your way around Homestead. There's really 5 different lanes you can take, going to lead to some really exciting racing. And this truck series at 1.5 tracks just seems to be a match made in heaven. I think this is going to be a great one tonight.
Yeah, and like we said, we crowned ourselves a champion last night in the Cup Series race here. 130 laps in the books, dominated by the 5 of Timothy Latham, and you could just hear how emotional he was after the race. This is a big deal for a lot of these guys here. One of the heavy favorites coming into the playoffs this year, Ryan Johnson, not a part of this final 6, so you hear a lot of that emotion after and during the races, and we heard it last night with Timothy Latham.
You sure do, and Timothy Latham, one of the championship favorites all season long. Here tonight, we could see really a Cinderella story of sorts. I mean, we've got guys, if you look at the full season standings, Trevor Williams enters this race 7th in most points, Andrew Harris 9th. How about our lucky dog winner, Sean Jensick, over there on the far right? 15th in full season points, but he has been on an absolute tear in the playoffs. He could go ahead and steal this thing, but they're going to have to go against the established veterans here that have been good all season long. Lane Doyle, Michael Madden, Brad Herman, 3 of the top drivers since we dropped the green flag in Daytona.
Yeah, we're seeing in the chat as well as we were watching him during practice, one of the 6 playoff contenders here for the championship having little internet issues here tonight. We're going to see if Sean Jensick can get those issues fixed because, like you said, he has been red hot here in the playoffs. You can see that average finish of an 18.11 there does not do him any justice by any means. 2 wins, 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and 3 poles. Not easy to come by. 4 top 10s in the playoffs, though. Looking good here. 87 points in the regular season. Was 15th. Barely got in. Was that lucky dog. And here he is. He said that they didn't want to see him here. And here he is.
Yeah, he was absolutely right on nobody wanting to see him in the playoffs. But then kind of working our way back up those point standings in a way. Andrew Harris, another one of these drivers, he's been very hot, cold as the season has gone. He'll have runs where it's 4 straight races out of the top 10, then 5 straight races inside the top 6. He's kind of one of those ones that when he's on, he is white hot out there. And think about it this way, he should be starting up towards the front because the last 12 races, average starting position of 3.8. This track does have a pretty good value towards track position at times. A little bit hard to pass sometimes out there. If you're out in front, that could go a long, long way.
And I'm curious to see how our rookie in this Championship 6 does as well. We got 2 of them with Trevor Williams and Lane Doyle. I'm curious to see how both of those drivers perform here tonight. They've done really well for their JW Racing team, and they're going to be competing for a team championship here tonight, but we'll get to that in just a second. But curious to see how these 2 do. Both kind of faded out in the middle part of the season. Trevor Williams coming on strong here lately, getting a win during the playoffs, but yet to see Lane get that win since week 1. What do you think about him and his chances here tonight?
I mean, it's really interesting because they kind of, as you mentioned, hit that midseason lull, but they have come on with a vengeance since the playoffs started. For Lane Doyle, 5 straight top 10 finishes. For Trevor Williams, 4 straight top 6 finishes. He only had 3 of those in the first 15 races of the season. So, I mean, they've both caught fire as of late. JW Racing has looked very strong all season long. I think they kind of built up to the point where this playoff run really got strong for them. Wouldn't be shocked to see one of those 2 in victory lane and hoisting the trophy here tonight.
And I think we have forgot to mention as well, Brad Herman, our defending Season 2 champion, makes it in barely here in this final round. He's going to try to make it back-to-back here and go for 2 championships in 2 seasons. So why not? I mean, he's done well this season. 2 wins, 11 top 5s, and an average finish of 7.63. I don't think we should forget about our defending champ here too.
Not at all, and I think both of our veterans from the past couple of seasons have really been those quiet guys up towards the front all season. You mentioned Brad Herman, defending champion, leads all drivers with 15 top 10s in the first 19 races. Has his wins at Dover and Motegi. Same thing for Michael Madden, one of those guys that we thought was a huge contender last season. After season one, he was a heavy championship favorite all the way through season one, and he's there with 2 wins as well at Iowa and Talladega, 10 top 10s, and he's done really well as of late, been finishing better than he started in the last handful of races. That's been a thing that's been a little hot cold for him, but he's really kind of capitalized on that. So if he's up near the front early, that could be scary for everybody in the field.
So these are the 6 guys that it comes down to, and an absolute fantastic, I'd have to say, in my unbiased opinion here, that the Truck Series has been a delight to watch here this season. Very competitive all season long, and it comes down to 6 guys for $500. So keep your eyes on these guys. They'll have the green number right next to their name. So let's check out that team championship before we get out there. Just over 3 minutes left in qualifying, and a lot of guys left to get out there. So this was the round 2 matchup, the Fast 4, I should say. The JW Racing team going up against the 5 seed JBR here, in Dark Tank going up against the 3 seed. Let's see how these 2 matchups finished up here, and JW is going to go ahead and advance here 332 to 248, and it's just hard to beat these guys when they're constantly in the top 5 and top 10.
I mean, every single race, even when one of their drivers has a problem, it seems like 3, if not 4 of them are inside the top 10. It's just hard to beat that. They won their first round matchup by over 200 points, won this one by 84, and you can see the numbers there. It's not like JBR put up bad numbers at all this entire time. 248 is normally good enough to win a round, just really hard to do going up against JW right now.
Yeah, all 3 of their guys making it in the top 10 last week as well, but yeah, the average of 113.3 in the first round and averaging 110.7 in the second round. Very consistent and very hard to beat. So JW is going to advance, and who are they going to face? It's going to be Zuyos Racing taking out the 2 seed Dark Tank here, 251 to 193.
And I think this one, a lot of it goes down to Brad Herman and Blair Holloman, who have been absolutely fantastic. You don't see Blair's name up there for Zuyos. He had a bit of an off week last week. But for Dark Tank, it was a bit of a surprise. They were really hanging in there with JW for the top race, for the top team as the regular season played out. And they just kind of hit that bad skid in this last round of things. I mean, they sat there about 64 points is what they were averaging each round. And it was kind of what you see right there. Just guys that were going for it, trying to advance to the next round or trying to get into that tier 2 side, and they just kept getting snake bit in those races, and that really hurt them on that.
We saw the lower seed take out the 1 seed yesterday, the 1v2 against Tank and Gear Up Motorsports going to the 2 seed of Gear Up. Will we see another upset here tonight and see Zuyos Racing take out JW Racing? We'll keep our eyes on it all night long, but want to go ahead and check out one more race that is in the books here, Brandon. The Butt Kicker Hard Charger Award going to be handed out to Rob Yost Jr. He's fought hard for this thing all season long. A lot of guys going for it, but he has averaged the most positions gained. There you see it, 12.58, beating Dan Park, Jason Kratky, among others here. So he's going to come away with a nice piece of equipment here, a Butt Kicker Gamer 2.
Yeah, really good piece of equipment, and all these guys, for the most part, kind of forego qualifying on a regular basis and try to just make their way through the field as best as they can. I would say really the top 4 were doing that pretty consistently all season long. Rob did a good job keeping that truck out of trouble most of the time and was able to capture the benefits of that.
Well, let's go ahead and check out what these guys are racing for. It's come down to this. After a 20-week season, some checks are going to be written here tonight. That season payout is what we're looking at here. First place going to come away with $500, but a lot of cash on the line here tonight, Brandon.
Big time money on the line, and remember, it's Championship 6, so we're going to pay out 500, 300, 180, 120, 80, and 60 to that Championship 6 here tonight. The 4 drivers that were eliminated in the last round, they'll be running where the top 2 will pick up $40 and $20 respectively.
So let's get out there and waste no more time. The qualifying has wrapped up, and here we are at Homestead, Miami Speedway. I can't believe It's wild to me, Brandon, that we are down to 2 races left. This one is going to fly by here with all the action I feel like we're going to see. We saw all the green drive up towards the front last night, and battle it out. I said yesterday, last night right there. Last night and battle it out. We will probably see that again here tonight. What do you think?
I think so, and I mean we're seeing a little bit of scattering throughout the field with that championship 6, but I think the cream does rise to the top, especially at racetracks like this one. I think we'll see them start making their way up pretty quickly.
Well, let's check out that lineup here tonight. Landon Cardulo going to be on the pole after being eliminated last week. He's been really hot, winning the race last week at Kentucky Speedway, a time of 33.285, picking it right up where he left off. Lane Doyle going to be the first playoff driver there, starting row 2. Ryan Johnson and Blair Holloman row 2 there. Brad Herman and Connor Cunningham in row 3.
In row number 4, Bobby Anderson, another one of the drivers eliminated last week in 7th. Tyler Markle, haven't seen him in a bit, but he comes back here tonight, starting in the 8th position. Jacob Zala, currently 2nd in the Tier 2 standings, 9 points behind Blair Holloman. He'll be in position number 9. Jonathan Byer also in the running for that 7th and 8th money, as he was eliminated last week in 10th. Jose Castellanos will start inside row 6 and 11th. And Trevor Williams, our 4th of the Championship 6 drivers, or 3rd of the Championship 6 drivers, will be starting in 12th.
Yeah, Michael Madden, you see there to cover the rest of the playoff drivers, going to start in row number 7 and 13. Sean Jensick going to start in 15th here tonight. And Andrew Harris all the way down there in 21st. He's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to come away the champion here tonight. So that's a look at your starting lineup. Brandon, we made picks last night, and you were right. I will admit it. How are you thinking about picking tonight?
Well, I know we were talking about this last night. I remember who you were saying, so I'm not going to go with that one and kind of steal that one from underneath you. But one of the names I've been looking at that's been really hot as of late, I always like going with a hot hand. I'm going to go back a little bit, starting in the 12th position with Trevor Williams on that outside in that 46 JW Racing truck. I like the momentum he's got right now. I think we'll see a first-time champion tonight.
Well, I'm going to go right next door to you, and I think we're going to see Michael Madden come away with the championship here tonight. He is really good at Homestead. I've seen him race here before. Watch for this 15 here tonight, see if he can get on up to the front. So the pace car about to peel off down pit road. There goes the field in the hands of Landon Cardulo here, and we're going to get the last race of the truck season underway here tonight. See him going right beside that digger cam. 31 trucks and Landon Cardulo under attack already. Lane Doyle not wasting any time putting that 47 truck out in clean air to lead this first lap.
Yeah, right as we had that digger cam that you pointed out, we heard that little tire squeal. That was going to be the 13. Landon Cardulo got pretty loose. That killed a lot of momentum there, and that left him very prone to that attack from Lane Doyle, who leads the first lap. But remember, bonus points, not a factor tonight for that Championship 6. Whoever crosses the line first will be the champion. And what Doyle's hoping is Ryan Johnson could have pulled off that pass, give him a little bit of a buffer there as a teammate who's got eliminated in a shocker last week. And if he can do that, that might give a little bit of an escort there to that 47.
Watching these trucks go around this beautiful 1.5 mile oval. Absolutely love that they put the championship race here this season. We'll get to where the championship race is next season in the truck series in just a little bit. We had that teased in the Discord earlier for the drivers and everybody to watch out. We got some schedules coming out, and we put a little bit of a twist on it this year, so it's looking good, and the 47 looking pretty good right now too.
Certainly is looking very comfortable. He's liking that bottom line. Landon Cardulo getting squirrely there. We talked about that last night a lot. This is a progressive banking racetrack. You see those two big seams right there. One just crossed, now another one just crossed. It's 18 degrees on that bottom seam. You move up past that, it's 19 degrees. You move up past that, it's 20 degrees. It doesn't sound like much, but it's enough to really disturb how that truck handles out there, especially on tires that are still warming up and getting used to the surface.
Landon Cardulo going really high that time. wrapping the top line there pretty well. Gets a good run off the back, or the turn 4, and is running the 47 down pretty quickly here. I didn't think that was going to work that well, but I think some guys are going to see that 13 running that high line, just how much speed he's getting from doing that, and probably going to start to replicate that.
I would imagine, and I mean, you get a little bit more banking, you're going to carry a little bit more speed, and you're naturally going to have some more momentum coming out of that top line because you're not having to go across the width of the racetrack as well. So the way that you can exit that turn, you're right there already, and it's going to put him right back into that draft with that momentum, and you're seeing him really pull closer. It's possible we do see a lot more people start making their way up towards that high line. There might be some guys still trying to feel it out, though, to see how that's going to affect the tires as everything continues to change. We did have the body updates on these trucks. That's going to throw off the handling and the way that these trucks handle a little bit as Landon Cardulo looking to the inside, quickly getting by Lane Doyle.
Yeah, so the 13 back out in front where he started. Landon Cardulo going to lead a lap. He gets really loose off at turn 4 there, and that's going to put the 47 right back on the bumper of the 13 as we turn lap number 7 quickly here. This race is going to go by. Last night was 130 laps. 95 laps is going to tick off quickly for these guys, and that's going to put the pressure on a few of them, one of which I'm seeing starting to fall back a little bit. Sean Jensick back here in the Lightning McQueen machine. He is clearly having issues here, so we will get off of that truck because it is making our camera have all sorts of fits there. So, yeah, that is probably why he's heading to the back in 25th position right now, and they usually tell these guys to go ahead, get to the back out of the way, and get that internet cleared up, and then they can start racing again. So he's going to need to get that thing fixed.
Yeah, and that is exactly what happened. There was a little chatter coming over the driver chat from race control, letting some of the drivers know about who was blinking. Sean was one of the ones that's a pretty heavy offender of it right now. He's kind of told to start drifting towards the back.
So Jose Castellanos looking pretty good right now, up 3 positions in 8th, working on Jacob Zala right now. These are 2 non-playoff drivers, but this is the closest battle right now on the track for 7th.
Yeah, and this has some implications when it comes to that Tier 2 championship. Remember, that being led by Blair Holloman, 9 points over Jacob Zala. Jose Castellanos, 20 points away from that lead, but only 10 out of the money in that, as he's 6th place in those standings. Lucas Lyons holding that 3rd position in the Tier 2 entering tonight. He is 10 points behind the lead, but just 1 point ahead of Ben Park in 4th.
So right now, Zala side by side with Jose. Jose trying to get by and clear the 75, but unable to do so far. Right now, Lane Doyle trying to catch back up to the leader, Landon Cardulo, but Landon out to a half-second lead right now. So starting to put a little bit of a gap between him and the 47.
He definitely is, and now the question's going to be, all right, we saw him be the first one to venture up to that high line. He's starting to come back down towards the inside. I'm curious where he feels most comfortable, if he's really just got a good feel on all these lines. If he does have a good feel on every single line, what that's going to do is give him a lot of flexibility in how he's going to maintain those tires throughout this run. We're probably going to be seeing a 2-stop race. It's going to be close. There might be some guys try to stretch this out, but I think most likely it's going to be a 2-stopper.
Well, Ryan Johnson getting by his teammate Lane Doyle there, so put the 48 in 2nd. He has been eliminated from the playoffs last week, so he is fighting for that 6th place payout. However, $80 wouldn't be too shabby, especially if you win the race as well. Not a bad payday still for the 48, even though I know he wants the trophy after a 7-win season here in Season 3.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable season that Ryan had with 7 wins over the 19 races to this point. I think the previous best we ever saw was 7 wins in somebody's first 22 races. Ryan just obliterating that mark here this season as he did it in, I believe it was 17 races by the time he got that win. But see him now running in 2nd. He did get by Lane Doyle, but that's all right for Lane. He's still leading that championship 6 race by about 1.25 seconds over Brad Herman. We see him there in that light green truck, 5th in line. And he's got Blair Holloman between him and Doyle trying to close in. Next championship 6 driver up is Michael Madden back in 9th. So there's a lot of a gap here between Herman, Doyle, and the rest of that field.
And here's Michael Madden trying to make quick work of the 75. Jacob Zala here. He's trying to pick up 8th position and get up closer to these guys. Currently, Lane Doyle in contention of winning this championship right now if it were to end on lap number 14. But Brad Herman, like you said, not far behind. And I'm not taking my eye off this 15 or the 46. He's held his ground in 12th, and we know he is a very good long-run truck. And Andrew Harris already picked up 6 spots from where he started in 21st and 15th already. So, like I said, the cream usually rises to the top here, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, and one driver that wasn't mentioned there out of that championship 6, and we might as well just say it's a championship 5 now. We saw those internet connections for Sean Jensick. A second ago, you saw it on the left side of the screen on the scoring pile on 31st place and out. He has dropped out, at least temporarily, but he is having some internet issues. Actually on vacation and trying to get this race in, but seems like the internet quality not going to let that happen tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough break, but hey, it could be worse. He could not be on vacation and having internet issues. So, tough break for Sean. Great season and great drive to the championship, but he will finish in 6th place. And actually forgot, I was saying Ryan Johnson was racing for that 6th place money. Forgot we had 6 drivers. I got to get used to that. So they're racing for 7th and 8th for that 48 machine. So doing a good job right now. Landon Cardulo also in contention as well. So those 2 drivers, like you said, at the top of the board. I'm going to get with it here shortly. I should be used to this by now. We're used to seeing 6 drivers here in the Truck Series.
Yeah, it seems like an annual thing here, but now we're down to that championship 5 once again. But yeah, Sean Jensick going to be locked into that 6th position. Landon Cardulo, he's leading the way, trying to race for that 7th spot, but not far behind. The current 8th season position is going to be Ryan Johnson. He's looking to make a race out of this thing, now just 0.2 of a second back.
Yeah, and you know he's hungry after just not having a you could say it was probably the worst round 2 he could have possibly imagined. And, I mean, after having a 120-point gap on the field in the first round to come away eliminated after the second round, it was probably a little bit of a shock for the 48, but he wants to end the season strong. And with 8 wins to his name, that would be an incredible season nonetheless.
Absolutely, and just remember what it was at last week's race that kind of put the nail in the coffin for Ryan Johnson. He and Landon Cardulo racing for the race win late, and then just trying to work their way through some lap traffic. I don't think anybody did anything wrong. I said that last week. I still think that, but it did result in Ryan Johnson spinning to the inside after making some contact, trying to get away and get around the pick that was basically set up there with the lapped car. They spun, got the penalty, and that is effectively what knocked him out of the playoff.
Well, he is not worried about that right now. These two still battling it out. We saw this about early on in the season, too. These two could not get away from each other up towards the front, and why not finish it off that way with these 2 drivers racing up towards the front. Lane Doyle getting back up into the mix, though, as these 2 battle it out side by side. I believe Ryan Johnson is going to clear him here, and he is going to slide up in front of the 13, but Landon Cardulo not giving up yet.
Yeah, he had that outside momentum. He's going to go ahead and use it, trying to stay up high. Ryan wanted to block that inside line. He's going to get a little bit of a push possibly from Lane Doyle. See if he can maybe clear that 13. 13 might try to do a crossover if he's got the room, but Ryan going to continue to block that inside line. And as these 2 race hard and Lane Doyle kind of waiting there, look who's creeped into this picture, the old defending champion, Brad Herman, now about a half second behind his championship rival in 3rd.
Yeah, we talked about nerves yesterday and how it sets in. You don't feel like it is, trust me, going into this thing. But once you get this race underway, I imagine all these guys are feeling a little bit of nerves. But I have to imagine Brad Herman has got to have a little bit less than the rest after coming away with the championship last year and doing it from 8th place in Atlanta, a wild championship race that we had last season, and that's all it took.
Yeah, that was one of the rare moments where a championship was won without winning the race. It seems like that's kind of the commonplace these days. I know it's happened maybe about 3 times here in SRN and the 9 times we've done this format. But, yeah, it's been a little surprising when you see the race winner not be the championship winner. But we saw that last time around in Atlanta. But, yeah, Herman starting to close in. Michael Madden, Trevor Williams also starting to work their way up a little bit farther through this field. Madden in 6th, Williams in 10th.
And Andrew Harris currently down in P number 17. He's starting to fall back a little bit after picking up quite a few positions early on, so we'll see if he can hang on until that first pit stop. Imagine this is a 2-stop race here tonight, Brandon.
Yeah, most likely. There might be some guys that try to really stretch this thing out, but I don't think that's really going to work too well. I would expect to be seeing a 2-stopper, which means probably around lap 30 to 32, we'll start seeing some trucks head their way down pit road.
Well, Ryan Johnson's starting to get away from these guys a little bit after the field caught him there. Lane Doyle has made his way up to second. Cardullo falls back to fourth, but want to keep my eyes on this battle here for second because this is the battle for the championship currently as Brad Herman has gotten to the bumper here of the 47. This 85 looking really good here as these long run tires start to set in.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Wondering if Lane maybe trying to block a little bit of that work that Landon Cardullo had early on in this run. Maybe kind of abuse those tires a little bit more than Brad did. I think they both did a pretty good job, especially Herman right now, obviously. But it just looks like that 85, a little bit more stability underneath it, and he's able to grip into the turns and hold a little bit more speed through those corners.
Yeah, so we'll see if these guys get to battle in here. As you see the 13 really start to fall off here, so must have cooked his stuff up a little bit as he made his run up towards the front. And, yeah, so Michael Madden now up. We got a yellow flag. Jonathan Byer here.
And a rough run for Jonathan Byer continuing here as you saw him turned around. A little bit of damage on the left side. That would tell me this might not be a single truck incident.
So let's go ahead, cue up our first Sparkle and Shine mobile detailing wreck replay of the night. And there you see him to the outside of the 40. That's going to be Derek De Silva here tonight in that 40 machine and just made contact. Oh, big hit there for the 24 Taylor Smith.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward angle to know what happened for sure. It looked like they just kind of met in the middle, but we'll take a look here from this chopper cam as they make their way into turn one. It's Byer on the outside, De Silva on the inside.
Looks like they kind of met there on that seam.
Yeah, that's a little tough. I think Byer probably thought that he was going to be down a little bit farther. De Silva did kind of come off that line, and you're seeing the EOL as quickly as that was. I'm wondering if Derek De Silva just called that one on himself, actually, because that's very quick for an EOL to go out, and that is possible, but you see heavy damage to that 40.
Big time damage there to the 40 machine, so he's going to bring it down pit road and might just park it for the night with how much damage is on that machine. So here we got the leaders coming down pit road. Ryan Johnson pitting from the lead. That's Lane Doyle and Landon Cardullo pitting just in front of him since they started first and second here tonight. Let's see who gets off first here. If anybody takes tires, nope. It's going to be Ryan Johnson winning the battle. Landon Cardullo in second. Brad Herman up to third, so he's going to be your championship leader right now. Lane Doyle fourth and Michael Madden in fifth.
Yeah, those three going to be sitting in a really good spot. Trevor Williams up a couple positions as well, up to eighth. So 4 of our championship 6 all inside the top 8. Starting to see some more green work their way up towards the top of the scoring pylon.
So Ryan Johnson, your leader here tonight on lap 26. The first caution, we're going to step aside, run a quick commercial break, and come right back with the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag. Don't go anywhere. Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
All right, back out here on lap number 28. Pace car lights are off, and we're going to re-rack this thing, get them started here one more time. Ryan Johnson going to start from the outside with his teammate Lane Doyle there just behind him. Probably a smart move. Landon Cardulo and Brad Herman, the first two cars on the inside lane.
Yeah, I like that call to the outside for two reasons. One, you kind of insinuated there, get a teammate behind you. You can kind of work together on that. The other thing, too, is we've seen how much of a run that outside lane can get. So you give him a little bit of a jump. If he's clear of Landon Cardulo, he can make a big downhill run into that turn one, get a natural arc through that turn. If he's not clear of him, he'll get all that momentum on the outside coming off turn two.
Well, that Silverback Tax Solutions green flag is waving once again here in Homestead Miami Speedway. Ryan Johnson gets him started off here.
And not only did Ryan get clear, but Lane got clear as well. And we got one sideways. Connor Cunningham turned around. Big wreck coming out of turn two.
Yeah, Ben Park also involved back here. You mentioned Connor Cunningham. A few others. Doesn't look like any playoff driver is going to be involved in this one, luckily for them, because that could have been a night ender. A lot of damage for a few of these trucks.
For sure, and that is the peril of ice-cold tires on these restarts, especially with that progressive banking. Those seams alone are pretty slick. You catch it at the wrong time, that truck's going to go around even on worn tires. And I think that's pretty much what happened there to the 63. Oh, big hit for the 45 and the 49. Not sure who that was just there at the very last second that got into that. Oh, there is a lot of damage to some pretty decent trucks out there here tonight.
Hey, you see him already loose. We'll bring it back a little bit, and it's just a long process where he knows it's about to get around from him. Look who he's next to, though, here.
Yeah, Michael Madden to the inside.
Trevor
barely
Williams.
getting away. Trevor Williams there. Jacob Zala barely missed. You see Halda, Kozier, believe that's the 64 that got into that as well. And just a lot going on here. And you can see this is what I was talking about with that progressive banking too. Watch where he is on the seam. He's straddling that seam. So the right sides are on a little bit of a higher banking than the left. And on cold tires, that truck really just wanting to snap loose on him.
Wow, that was a really close one for Trevor Williams right there. He is probably a little nervous after getting through that, but maybe counting his lucky blessings here, because that was close for the 46.
That was super close there. We call those a code brown every now and then on the racetrack, and that's probably what is going through the mind there of Trevor Williams, as we see Connor Cunningham and several others involved in that incident work their way down pit road to get some damage repaired. But as a result of that, we had 5 drivers left in the championship group. Look where they all are now. Inside the top 10 is Andrew Harris inside that group for the first time tonight.
Well, Brandon, what do you say we wait no longer? We've got a lot of people out here waiting to see what this season 4 schedule is going to look like. What do you say we show the fans here?
Oh, no time like the present while we're under caution, so let's take a look. And you'll notice a few of the tracks, if you've been looking at the Cup side, that got released on Discord today. We'll have that up on social media here pretty soon. But you'll see a couple of similarities. But for the most part, 16 of the 20 races at different tracks than the Cup Series. We're doing that for the first time in SRN.
Yeah, this is a really cool looking schedule. And the best thing about it, Brandon, is each schedule is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be like how we've done it in Season 3, where each of the 3 series are going to be racing at the same track. Each week, we're going to be going to different tracks 3 days a week, and look at some of these. I mean, we're going back to Twin Ring, Motegi. We absolutely loved it there. I, being from Charlotte, personally love the Charlotte Roval, so that's going to be a big time mess more than likely, but sometimes is a great competition out in front as well. And Mid-Ohio, a track we haven't gone to. I love the mix of road courses throughout all the different series, and I think we've seen some rave reviews in the Cup Series for that reason too.
Yeah, we have. And, you know, there's an extra road course this season. We had 2 this season. We're going to 3 in Season 4. And we're seeing the Roval. We see Watkins Glen. And then in the playoff, we see Mid-Ohio. So those playoff races, we got the regular season ending at Michigan. That for all 3 series. And then in the playoffs, round 1, we've got Texas, Mid-Ohio, and Kentucky for the trucks. Round 2, Iowa short track, Auto Club, 2-mile, Gateway, a little bit of one of those awkward 1 mile, 1.25 miles. And then the championship race in Viva Las Vegas, going from day to night for 90 laps around that 1.5 miles.
It's kind of fitting to put it in Gateway. The Gateway to the west, the St. Louis Arch, you know. Why not? And that is a tough track, so kind of glad of myself that I'm not going to be running in this truck series, because that is going to be a brutal race to make it in out of that final 10 drivers to make it the final 5.
And can we throw out one other thing that got overlooked so far? Look at race number 6. What's making a return?
Oh,
Good
yeah.
old Rockingham out there.
Yeah, no longer for the music festivals or anything. I say that because I've been to one recently out there. But, yeah, it's for racing here now in SRN. So that is a look at your Season 4 schedule. The duel's going to start off the week before Daytona at the end of September. We're going to get the points races kicked off the first week of October. So definitely stay tuned for more updates. Let's go ahead, get back out there on the track, though. We're about to get this thing kicked off as the pace car lights are off.
Absolutely, and this time we're going to see Ryan Johnson back down to the inside. He's got his teammate Lane Doyle to the outside. Brad Herman going to be right behind him. Michael Madden right behind him. Trevor Williams right behind him. They're all lined up for that Championship 5 remaining.
Yeah, so Johnson going to send it down there. Lane Doyle going to try and clear his teammate here and get behind him, but now he's staying up a lane and trying to get some speed, maybe trying to pass his teammate.
And why not? Get that buffer, get a couple of trucks between he and his closest championship rival, Brad Herman. See if Lane can make that move. He teased that look to the outside, but instead he's going to settle in behind that 48 this time around.
So all 5 of our playoff drivers there from 2nd to 8th, and like I said, they are all migrating towards
one around mid-pack.
That's Dean Gagliano, I believe, yeah. 3rd caution of the night out.
He just had that damage from the last wreck, wondering if that plays into this a little bit. Maybe got some fresh tires. They were still a little bit cold, but caution right back out. And this championship field getting closer and closer, now all inside the top 8 as we take a look back at what caused our 3rd caution of the night. Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing Rec Replay. See that 45 just loose all by himself, and they got a little help getting turned around the rest of the way.
Yeah, just another thing, and I think it's like you said, on that seam once again, and that is not friendly to cold tires and will send you around. Nowhere for the 98 to go, though, and just finishes them off here. We're going to take a look here from the far chase cam above the 45, and you just see it start to step out on him as he starts to progress up towards the track here. And, yep, 98, nowhere to go.
Yeah, Nathan Nixon in the 98 did everything he could. I think he even kind of anticipated that he was getting loose and backed off, but then you can only back off so much in that moment, as close as he was. Just give him that final little tap that sent him around the rest of the way. Not much damage, though, to that 45 truck in either of those incidents, so maybe he got some good repairs after that 2nd caution, but that truck's still looking pretty clean despite being in 2 incidents in the last 2 green flag laps.
Yeah, so we'll see if Dean can work his way back up. Has had a very good second half of the season. Didn't start off the way he wanted to, but has had a really good run here of late. We'll see if the 45 can get back up. No takers, though. Austin Purnell, Jason Crackey back in 15th on back. A few others from about 15th on back coming down pit road. But would you have gone out or stayed out or gone in there?
I don't think there's been enough time on these tires, and I think with us running these cautions right now, and I think even without the cautions, they were going to be in position to turn this into a one-stop race the rest of the way from that first caution. I don't think there's a whole lot of reason for anybody to come in unless you're near the back end of this lead lap, and then you can kind of get those fresh tires. It's a little bit of a gamble because we start seeing a lot of cautions the rest of the way. You're at a little bit of a disadvantage there. So it's just kind of one of those ones. I think everybody making the right call staying out here. Only 2 laps of green flag runs on these tires.
No penalties given out there. It looked like he was going to save it there, but like you said, Nathan Nixon nowhere to go. So was going to give everybody an update on the playoff drivers here. Lane Doyle almost to the halfway mark of this thing. Started second, still in second, only his teammate in front of him, and that is not a problem because right now he is sitting there as the championship leader. So Lane Doyle could very well start off the season red hot and finish it red hot here tonight.
Yeah, he almost kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit as the season played out to his teammate Ryan Johnson. I mean, we talked about that right after Daytona and how every single season since season 1, 2, and now 3, the race winner in that first race of the season was a rookie to SRN. That race winner at Daytona went on to the playoffs. Not only went on to the playoffs, went on to the championship race. We're seeing it for a 3rd consecutive season. See if Lane Doyle can do what the others weren't able to do and actually close it out with a championship. He's in a great position right now.
Yeah, and something you don't often see people do is, have a regular season average finish and then improve that in the playoffs. And he's done just that, an average finish of 9.16 in the regular season, which is just really good. And he improves it in the playoffs to make it an 8.16. So you improved it by a whole position. So that's when you are red hot here in the playoffs. So the next up is going to be Brad Herman, our defending champion, lurking around in 4th place, was battling with Lane Doyle not too long ago, trying to get back up here. Brad Herman could very well go back-to-back here tonight.
Yeah, he's looking to be very comfortable out there, as is Michael Madden, who's going to be restarting in position number 5. Right behind him will be Trevor Williams in position number 7. Andrew Harris will be to the outside of that 46, restarting in position number 8. And I thought we were getting side by side, getting ready to go. We had 1 lap to go, actually. So I'm sorry
it was. You were just kind of rushing it along there. No, it's all good, man. We had to get through it, but yeah, it's just a long pacing the process right now. It's all good. I think they're going to get it hashed out. We're going to get this thing green. Like you said not too long ago while we were under break, this is still a one-stop race. So these guys are trying to pick their right time to maybe undercut it and maybe get some good track position. It's just always a hard strategy when this much is on the line and you're running as well as you are. We saw Ed Shearer kind of go for a Hail Mary last night as he wasn't running as well as he would like to. He kind of stayed out as long as he could, didn't work out. Well, we see that here tonight.
He definitely could, and I think if you're going to be sitting in that last couple out of that championship group, you might be the one that tries something similar, staying out as long as possible, hoping for a caution. The one thing that might throw a wrench into that right now is how we're seeing this flurry of yellow flags start flying around this racetrack. That makes it very difficult to actually get a rhythm, makes it difficult to anticipate how your tires are going to feel, when that stop is going to come. And also, we start continuing to see these cautions fly. That's going to take the strategy out of it because at some point, everybody's going to dive down.
Once again, we're going to see that Silverback Tax Solutions green flag waving. Ryan Johnson getting off to a good jump here. This time, his teammates starting to the outside of him. Lane Doyle trying to go for the lead here.
And tight side-by-side racing between the two teammates. And Lane is going to get that run to the outside. He might be clear, and he is clear of Ryan Johnson. So the 47 to the point. And now he's going to be under attack to the inside. Ryan not going to get that run completed. Good news for Lane Doyle. He's got 2 trucks buffering him. Back to Brad Herman, Michael Madden, and Andrew Harris, and Trevor Williams, all right behind that little group.
I can't imagine Brad Herman is going to wait very long. He's to the inside of Landon Cardulo in a hurry. Cannot let Lane Doyle escape from him. He's got that clean air for that 47. Brad Herman's got to make quick work of this 13, but proven to be hard as Landon has been making that high line work all night long.
And that's going to be what's so difficult to get around that 13 truck. He's shown that he's probably the most comfortable truck on that outside. And if you have that outside line, especially in these trucks, you're going to get all that momentum compared to that inside line. Really difficult for that inside line to complete that pass if you're running really strong on that high line like the 13 has been.
Landon Cardullo now trying to get to the bumper of this 48. We saw the 13 kind of drop back a little bit after starting on the pole earlier, made his way back up to the front, but then fell off really quickly. And luckily that caution came out, and then we've had a string of cautions that have gotten him back up here to the top three, battling with Ryan Johnson. Further on back, though, Michael Madden, Andrew Harris nose to tail here, and Brad Herman.
Yeah, this is a tight grouping. You got 4 of the championship 6 all running within 5 spots of each other. The man in the middle that's not in that group is Jacob Zala in the 75, fourth in line here. But there's Herman, then Madden, then Harris, Zala, and then Williams back there. Big time playoff racing. Ooh, one got real loose back there. I think that was Blair Holloman, actually, that went down towards the inside of the track. Does gather it back up. We stay green.
Well, officially halfway. Well, actually not officially. And this is why Greg does not do math. I was thinking we were halfway done to this thing. We've got a few more laps before we get to the halfway mark, but this battle's still heating up here. Brad Herman trying to hold off a hungry 87, Andrew Harris in 15, and Michael Madden. Harris trying to use that high line to get by Michael Madden, but looking like the 15 is going to clear him here. Whoa, gets loose there on the exit too.
This is really interesting right now because we've seen so many caution flags that it might bode for some of these guys to start getting really aggressive out there. And if you think aggressive driving out of that championship group, I think of that 87 of Andrew Harris. He's done better about keeping it in check. But if we're going to have a bunch of short runs, the guy that's normally got the most short run speed out of this championship group is in that 87. Oh, real tight moment. Maybe a little contact there.
Wow.
Lucky nothing more comes of that for the 15 and the 85 as Madden trying to get that nose out in front of Brad Herman.
My heart just stopped, and like we said, I think Uncle Netcode's still on vacation here in Miami. Why not? Because that was as close as you can get there. You couldn't put a piece of paper between these two guys. Michael Madden clears Brad Herman and makes himself the second running championship driver in fourth now.
And that's going to be to see how he can handle, if he can get to that tailgate of Landon Cardullo, see if he can get that run out there against that 13 and start to get closer towards Lane Doyle. He's going to have to work his way by a couple trucks to do it, though, as he still has Cardullo, then Ryan Johnson between he and the championship and race leader. But you see already, Madden pulling away by about 0.2 of a second already. So that 15 looking pretty stout at the moment.
Yeah, he's put a little bit of a gap between him and Brad Herman. You can see there Andrew Harris trying to put work on the 85 machine as well, but Brad Herman is going to be defending here. You cannot lose too much track position when it comes to these championship drivers, and when they're all in the mix-up here in the top 8, you've really got to be driving with your elbows out here. Andrew Harris taking a look to the inside.
He had a big run. He did that little late apex, try to get as much momentum in the straight line on that exit. Did a good job of it. He's got the inside. Yeah, he's got that nose out in front. See if he can power through on that bottom line in time to slide back up. He is clear. He slides up. See if maybe a little counter from Brad Herman. Not going to do it this time. He's going to concede the spot.
Yeah, so Andrew Harris up to 5th, but just like you said, yeah, Brad Herman goes to the inside. He's going to try and get that spot back. Knew Brad Herman would not give up easily here. The 85 back to the inside.
That was a nice little move there, a delayed crossover of sorts, picking up that draft a little bit as best as he could, going towards turn 1. Still not quite there to the inside of the 87, who is going to be clear. Dip down to that inside line. This time shouldn't be much of a threat there, coming back down towards turn 1. As Andrew Harris holding about 1/10 of a second. See if there's a little bit of a counter again from Brad Herman. Don't think he's got the run to do it this time, though.
Yeah, so Brad might just concede it here for a little bit, save his stuff, and try and get it back a little bit later, because we do have one more stop to go here after pitting on lap number 25 under caution. So these guys are going to start to feel these tires now, as we've had a nice little green run here after a few cautions here early on.
Yeah, and those cautions are really going to change up the strategy, too. I think that's going to open up the window a little bit wider. I think you might start seeing some guys come down around lap 65, leave 30 laps to go. But because the tires are still going to be relatively fresh compared to the since they when they put them on lap number 26, we've only run about 12 green flag laps since then. You might see some guys stretch this out to about lap 70, knowing that they're still going to be pretty fresh compared to what you'd be thinking.
Have to imagine Ryan Johnson is coaching his young teammate here, Lane Doyle, as he's just riding right behind him, still acting as that buffer there between him and Landon Cardulo. Michael Madden there 0.8 of a second back. So Ryan Johnson not putting up much of a fight on the 47 right now. I think he's just kind of protecting his young teammate here.
Little bit. It kind of has that feel of him trying to block a little bit against that 13, not letting him get into the mix and put that 47 in a little bit of trouble. But you also got to keep in mind the 48 and the 13 both eliminated last week, and that round of 10 down as we whittled it down to the round of 6. And there's a lot of motivation for those two guys, not only to get that 7th and 8th position prize money at the end of the season, but to park that truck in victory lane. Landon Cardulo got that first win of the season last week, but it was a pretty bittersweet one as he was eliminated still in that process. You know they both want to get back there and prove that they're still going to be a contender going into next season.
Absolutely, and this is a good showing for JW Racing as well as far as the team championship goes too. They've got 1st, 2nd, as well as 8th right now compared to Zuyost, who's currently in 6th place. I'm trying to go down the list here, 10th, and we're
13th for
Techmeyer.
13th.
Yep. So Techmeyer there in 13th. So trying to do the math on the fly, I believe JW has a little bit of a margin currently with just over 40 laps to go.
Yeah, they'll also have a couple bonus points for leading laps for Ryan Johnson and Lane Doyle. This position, they would probably have the most laps led. Pretty well wrapped up, though not for sure just yet, but they'll be in that position as well. So a really strong run here. Landon Cardulo got the pole, so that took away those bonus points, but you're seeing a really strong run here for JW trying to lock up that team title.
So Lane Doyle still out in front. Brad Herman starting to catch back up to Andrew Harris a little further on back for 5th. So thinking Brad Herman might have just been saving his stuff a little bit here. He's going to try and get back by the 87 to become that 3rd place running driver in this championship.
Yeah, he's been very subtle with the way that he's been going around this racetrack, been really picking his spots. Oh, he's up up front, side-by-side run for the lead. Ryan Johnson, you see it up there in the distance. He gets around Lane Doyle, so new leader, and it's going to be another JW truck, but Ryan Johnson to the front.
Well, I guess I was completely wrong on my assumption earlier. And there you see Ryan Johnson.
Makes two of us.
Taking the lead from Lane Doyle there in the 47. Still no damage done as far as the championship goes. Still the highest running driver out of the final 6 here in the Truck Series. But it's got to start to worry and you start losing positions. We'll see if that 13 can catch up to this 47. Then it gets real for Lane Doyle.
Yeah, I think as long as Landon Cardulo is between Michael Madden, Brad Herman, and Lane Doyle, I think that's going to be the key. That tells Lane he's going to be sitting in a pretty decent position. Oh, just notice Andrew Harris got really squirrely there, lost a couple of positions, might lose another one here as Trevor Williams looking to the inside. That'll be for 4th in this championship group. So move Trevor Williams up to 7th on the racetrack, 4th in the championship, trying to make a run to the inside on Jacob Zala, but that outside momentum able to protect him there for 6th.
Yeah, so Trevor Williams just quietly hanging out here, and I think we're going to start to see some moves being made by this 46 as he's just saving his stuff back here, I think, just quietly hanging around, playing the long game here tonight, trying to make quick work of Jacob Zala, though, who's in that 6th position. We'll see if he can make a move to the inside to take that 6th position. Not going to have it this time.
And you got to keep in mind, Jacob Zala running for a lot as well. He came in 9 points behind Blair Holloman for the Tier 2 championship. Right now, Zala in 6th, Holloman in 9th. So it's still about a 6-point gap, but still one slip up from Blair Holloman. Jacob Zala could be in that Tier 2 championship lead. So he's got plenty to be racing for tonight. Not going to give an inch against Trevor Williams. And knowing Jacob Zala, he's one of those drivers, not meaning this in a bad way at all. Not going to be one of those guys that gives an inch no matter what anyway.
Not at all. So back out front, Ryan Johnson. Wow, side by side back here for 3rd. Michael Madden taking 3rd. and that's going to put him right behind Lane Doyle, and it's go time now for this championship.
If he can get around that 13, they're still holding side by side, and this time Michael Madden with a big run to the inside. He's going to get around Landon Cardulo and get clear of that 13 truck. So Michael Madden, now the chase is on. Nothing but gap. No trucks between Doyle and Madden for that championship lead. Just 0.8 of a second separating the two rivals.
Yeah, that's looking back from the 47. He sees that red and black sparkle and shine Ford F-150 driven by Michael Madden, and Madden wants this bad. He has not had the season 2 he wanted last year, has had a really good season 3 here this season after missing out on the championship and season 1. Could this be his time in season 3?
Very well could be, and now the question's going to be that, you get that clean air, you know how that truck's going to handle when you're Lane Doyle for that, how much he's led this race. But Michael Madden was kind of just picking his spots, being very cautious, going around everybody, really protecting his tires. You see him, he's still running pretty well identical lap times to Lane Doyle, maybe a little bit faster, looking at maybe hundredths of a second a lap. So that tells me that Madden pretty comfortable out there. Looks like he's pretty good with exploring up to different lines as well, which could go a long way.
Yeah, not much being gained at all, and if it is, it's being lost on the next lap. There you see Madden catching up by another 0.06 of a second here, so just slowly, like I said, chipping away for the 15. So we'll see if he can make a run at this championship. 35 laps to go before we crown ourselves another winner here tonight.
And also getting around Landon Cardulo up to position number 4 is going to be Brad Herman. So now we got 3 championship contenders all running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, trying to chase each other down with no traffic between them.
Yeah, this is what they want, and I mean, not much traffic in regards to lap traffic for a little while. Nick Halda is going to be coming up here in front of his teammate Ryan Johnson. That's that white truck way out there. But other than that, I mean, Connor Cunningham 13 seconds ahead.
Yeah, they're going to have quite a long time up until they get to those green flag pit stops possibly. And with it being Nick Halda, I don't think he's going to be getting in the way, seeing as how he's got teammates running 1-2. Probably just going to dip down and stay as far out of the way as possible. Ooh, a little bit loose there for Ryan Johnson as he was running that thing up the racetrack trying to get a big run. He's still pulling away from Lane Doyle, so a strong run here for the 48 on the second half of this run. But one thing that is happening behind him, Lane Doyle, that 0.8 of a second gap, now down to less than a half second. Michael Madden starting to close in.
Yeah, and he's got that draft now, too. That's going to be helping him on these straightaways. And I'm going to be curious to see when Michael Madden decides to make that pit stop or who comes down first, whether Lane Doyle kind of, wants to come down, get fresher tires after these guys run him down, or if Michael Madden catches him and comes down pit road. I don't know which one to go with here.
That's the tough one. If you're Lane Doyle, it's easy. You stay out there until you see Madden, Herman, or Williams make that pit stop, and you come in the next lap. I think that's the best way to protect your position, and that way you're also not going to get caught out coming down too early. Everybody's staying out a little bit longer and having fresh tires at the end of this thing. If you're Michael Madden or Brad Herman, you are in limbo right now on what you're going to try to do. I think right now still might be a little bit too early. Think they might be looking around lap 70. Give it 25 laps of a sprint. That'll be pretty level. They'll have about 30 green flag laps on these tires by that point as well.
Yeah, and that's usually when the tires start to really wear, is that 25 lap threshold. So they're going to be trying to probably, like you said, avoid going any longer than that. So you have to see anybody come down pit road out of our championship 6. Sean Jensick still out of this race after having internet connection issues here tonight. But the rest of the top 5 there, all within the top 11, Andrew Harris starting to fall back a little bit.
Yeah, and we saw him be really aggressive trying to make some moves around the outside. Oh, there we go. First playoff driver down on the pit road, and first one down on the pit road no matter what is Trevor Williams. He's going to take the undercut swing with 30 laps to go.
I like it. I mean, one of the drivers driving he's further on back in the pack. He wasn't contending up in the lead all night. Why not take that Hail Mary?
And you know what? There could be a little bit of a team factor in this as well. He's going to take one strategy. That might force Michael Madden and Brad Herman to come down this time to try to protect that position, which also could set up Lane Doyle to be right in line as well and kind of keep everybody on the same strategy in a way. But this time by, they all stay out, so it's still going to be a little bit of a fresh tire advantage on this undercut for Trevor Williams. What he's got to be careful of is a caution coming out, of course. That would trap him a lap down. Other thing is these guys stay out about 10 laps or so. He'll have the short-term gain, but he's going to be hurting long-term out there because by the end of this race, his tires are going to be screaming. Those three are going to have super fresh tires.
Yeah, and you also got to work around lap traffic too, which you're going to be flying by, so you got to worry about that on top of it. So yet to see anybody else.
Yep,
And
here we go.
Andrew Harris coming down. He's going to be a second playoff driver coming down with Blair Holloman too. That's noteworthy too, considering the team championship battle between Zuyost Racing and JW Racing, that beautiful Miami-themed 06, man. That thing's looking good.
That's a great-looking truck out there, and one thing that does affect the team battle as well, just saw Troy Techmeyer, technical issues. He just had a connection drop, so that is a big hit there for Zuyost. He was the number 3 ranked driver in this race for their team, so that's going to leave it to Rob Yost to pick up that slack there from Troy Techmeyer. He was the only one running behind him.
So no more takers as far as championship drivers on pit road this time by Castellanos, Daniel Park, and Dean Gagliano all coming down, as well as James Kerr. So here we're getting to that lap 70 mark. Do we see the leaders start to come down?
I think in the next couple laps, I think after that, they're going to start losing the benefit there a little bit in what they're going to gain. And here we go, Ryan Johnson going to come down pit road. So the race leader giving up his spot. Oh, wow, that was a squirrely run into pit road, but looks like he got it settled down in time. And that'll give the lead back to Lane Doyle. Now it's all in his hands, and I think it's an easy call. You wait for Madden or Herman to come down. The next time by, you come down if you're in that 47.
Oh, that's going to be hard to make the pass by these two guys, though. But I think you're right. You got to wait and stay out just that lap longer. It's going to give the lead to them more than likely, but you should be able to get back by them. He's going to come down this time. They're all going to come down.
Wow, and you know what? I just heard on the driver chat, going into turn 3, Lane Doyle made the call coming down this time. That was a quick reaction because I don't think the 15 or the 85 were planning on it.
Yeah.
How quickly and how out of line they were to try to make that entry.
Typically, you don't want to give up your strategy if you're especially in a championship race. So he called it, but called it last second, and they all called his bluff, all coming down pit road and evenly at that. So looking like Lane kind of gave up some time coming into his stall there. We'll see if the 15 can beat him out of pit road.
I tell you, who had the cleanest run onto that entry was actually Brad Herman. He might be able to be the first one out.
He's getting a good run.
It's going to be Michael Madden just in front.
Oh!
Michael Madden going to be the new championship leader off pit road. And now, how aggressive are they going to be coming down the excess road?
Does it come down to pit road under green? And, man, they're racing on the access road. Brad Herman's going to clear Lane Doyle there. Michael Madden, your championship leader here, once he gets back by the 46 of Trevor Williams, who pitted 5 laps before these guys. So right now the 46 does have that lead. Can he hold on to it? 24 to go.
He's got about a 3-second advantage over Madden, Herman, and Doyle. One thing I'm keeping my eye on, did any of these three get a penalty?
Ooh.
As aggressive as they were coming out of pit road, you got to keep in mind of speeding. Also got to remember, they got to stay on that access road or below the blue cone before they get to it. That's off of turn number 2. So I don't think we're seeing anybody back down just yet. They might have avoided penalties, which if so, impressive if they were able to do that.
Well, there he is, Trevor Williams in that watermelon-flavored Rogue Energy 46, your current championship leader here. Could he come away with the Truck Series title here for Season 3? He's got to hold on to this for 23 more laps, and these boys are not far behind.
No, and they're getting closer. It's about a 0.4 of a second faster right now for Madden, Herman, and Doyle as they're on the fresh tires. They can also kind of line up and get that pull from each other in that draft, so they are closing up in a hurry. You think about it, it's about a 1/10 of a second a lap on fall off on these tires up until you get about midway through that run, and they start to kind of level off, and you're going to have what you have there the rest of the way. So that 1/10 of a second, the rest of the way, 5-lap difference, that could be all that it takes for these three to catch back up.
We'll see Jessica Williams out there in the chat cheering her new husband on. Congratulations, Jessica. He is feeling pretty good right now about his chances. You see the gap back to him and Michael Madden still in contention to win the $500 here tonight with the 6th place run. This is what we saw last season. I mean, we still got a few guys to pit here, but anything can happen here. We can see yellow.
Yeah, anything can happen for sure. And as you say, that Connor Cunningham, one of those 4 drivers, now down on the pit road. So that leaves Markle, Park, and Byer as the last 3 still out on the racetrack, yet to make their pit stop. Sounds like Jonathan Byer going to be coming down this time over the driver chat. So it'll be Markle and Ben Park, the last 2 left out there. And Tyler Markle, I mean, he's got really nothing to be running for aside from this win tonight, so he's going to try maybe to stretch it out as far as possible. So we got 20 laps to go, see if he can maybe pick up a caution, and there's enough tire wear for some of these guys that have already made that pit stop that he still hangs on to that track position.
So 20 laps to go. It comes down to this. Who is going to take it? It is going to be an all-out bloodbath battle here between these 4 guys that are nose to tail here. You see them getting closer to the 46. Michael Madden, he's going to go by that lap truck of Derek De Silva back here. Nobody separating these 2 now. The 15 coming quickly.
And he's actually pulling away a decent bit from Herman and Doyle as well. See about that 5 truck length distance between the 2. And Michael Madden with a really good run at the moment. He's now cut that down to 0.7 of a second up ahead to see Trevor Williams. Then it's about 2 seconds up to Ryan Johnson. Tyler Markle sounds like he's going to be coming down this time to concede that lead.
So you just see how much time is being gained through each turn, just chipping it away here. And Trevor Williams sees him coming. Not much he can do besides run his line and make the 15 pass him. The 46 looking pretty tight right now.
Yeah, this is that point in the run, too. He's got about 12 laps on those tires. This is where they really start changing on you. And that truck either gets really tight or really loose, depending on how you've been running it, depending on how you have the few modifications you can make, how they're set up, and how aggressive you're being on those tires. Right now, looks like Trevor Williams took that gamble. It was the right call, in my opinion. You had to try to do something different, take that swing, get up in front, but it looks like it might not be paying off here.
Well, he's going to make it hard for the 15 here, but the 15 going to go right on by to the inside. A drag race down the front straightaway, and the 15 is going to take the lead here.
So Michael Madden out to the point as he works his way around Trevor Williams. That'll be for second on the track, first in the championship standings. Trevor Williams now trying to hold off Brad Herman and Lane Doyle, who are starting to close in as well. Herman has pulled away from Doyle by about 1.25 seconds, actually. So really strong run for the 85 as well.
So the 15 going to come across the stripe to see 16 more laps to go. We're going to see if Brad Herman can make up any ground, see if he can get by this 46 and make a run to the 15. Lane Doyle, like you said, falling off a little bit, 1.3 seconds back, actually almost 2 seconds back of Michael Madden. Andrew Harris falling back to 9th there after Cardullo going by him a little further on back. So that's a look at your championship running order here with Sean Jensic out in 31st with internet connection issues here tonight. 15 laps to go for the 15 machine.
And he's starting to edge away farther and farther, and the longer it takes Brad Herman to close up and make that move around Trevor Williams, who's on the older tires, just means less and less time for him to track down and possibly pass Michael Madden. This is a golden scenario right now for the 15 truck as he's seeing daylight starting to form more and more behind him, and Brad Herman not yet making that move. Now he's going to take a look to the outside, see if he can get that momentum there, but he's still not going to be able to get clear of that 46.
Oh, no!
Up, gets real loose contact. It's spinning and they're around.
Oh, does he save it? They both save it, but that's going to make the caution flag not come out.
Oh my goodness, and still some damage there to the 85, some damage there to the 46, even more so damage on track position as well, as they're going to lose several seconds to the championship leader, Michael Madden.
So that's going to put Lane Doyle in second now as he's going by Jonathan Byer, a lap down truck here, or trying to at least. But there is a healthy gap between him and Michael Madden. That's Madden just in front of him by 1.7 seconds. He's got to get by this 66 here quickly to start trying to make up ground on this 15.
And now we got to be thinking 1.8 seconds is the gap with 13 laps to go. He's going to have to be going on a run and start really picking off about a tenth of a second a lap, if not more, about 15 hundredths of a second a lap to try to chase down that 15 Ford F-150 out in front here in this championship group. And Michael Madden looking to be in a great position should this thing stay green the rest of the way.
That gap is holding steady. Lane Doyle not running Michael Madden down any of that last lap. So 12 laps to go. He's going to need to start seeing some gains or be open for a caution here. So your running order here, Ryan Johnson still out in the lead. Michael Madden starts to run him down a little bit, so that 15 showing some good speed. But Ryan Johnson trying to finish the season strong here with 12 laps to go, now 11.
Ryan Johnson looking for what would be his 8th win of the season. Remember, coming into this season, the all-time wins leader in SRN was at 9. And Ryan Johnson in 20 races may very well be looking at his 8th win in one season alone, which would be SRN record for most wins in a season. Michael Madden trying to change that. Bigger picture, though, for Madden is going to be just keeping that thing out in front of the 47. The rest of the championship contenders all falling off, and they're going to be racing pretty tight for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place money right now, as Herman has made his way around Trevor Williams for 6th on the racetrack. Andrew Harris kind of lurking right behind him as well.
Yeah, so that puts Brad Herman in contention for that 3rd place money there, running in the 6th position. Trevor Williams back in the 4th place position in the championship. Harris up in the 8th position. He is your 5th driver in those championship standings. So Michael Madden is just cruising around here right now, keeping that gap to about 2 seconds over Lane Doyle. Lane not catching up at all, and with not much action out there on the track right now, it's hard to see any type of help in the form of a caution coming out for the 47.
And, I mean, there's a couple of trucks that are multiple laps down that are starting to show up here. But aside from that, the only trucks really that are in danger of going a lap down, you got Ben Park, who's just in front of Ryan Johnson. Then you got to go another 10 seconds up to Dean Gagliano. So I don't think we're going to be seeing lap traffic play too much of a factor based on what we're seeing. The ones that are in close proximity already pretty heavily damaged and off pace. They're doing a good job getting out of the way. So this is opening up wide open for Michael Madden. He's just got to keep that truck straight, and he's got to make sure that no caution comes out on the racetrack.
Yeah, with nobody around him, too, it's got to be pretty calm in the cockpit of that 15 machine. So 8 more laps to go before he crowns himself the Season 3 champion. Still looking good as far as JW Racing goes in that team championship as well. Having a pretty good night on the boards for them. Looking like they will come away with that Season 3 team championship here, which will kind of be nice after missing out on a solo championship here with the 2 drivers if this thing stays green.
Yeah, they're looking to be in great position, running in 1st, 3rd, and 7th. Zuio's currently in 6th, 10th, and in 18th, so it'll be a pretty healthy margin right now for JW Racing, even after that bit of a scare that we saw out there that cost Brad Herman and Trevor Williams quite a bit of track position out there. The Tier 2 side, Blair Holloman still looking pretty comfortable, but only by a couple points over Jacob Zala. And then the race behind them for 3rd going to be way too close to call at this point out there for that 3rd place spot in the Tier 2. But it all comes back down to that individual championship, and it's still 2.1 seconds the gap between Michael Madden and Lane Doyle.
Yeah, it's got to be getting frustrating for that 47 who's just not making up any ground and not losing any ground at the same time. So that just really starts to eat away at you as a race car driver. So Lane Doyle can see him out of his front windshield here, but not getting any bigger in that front windshield. Tough break for him. See if he can make up some ground. 5 laps to go.
And I'm wondering, because he was coming out of that pit road so close to Brad Herman and Michael Madden, I'm wondering if the way that all just kind of happened there, I'm not going to say rattled or anything like that, but it does kind of throw you off a little bit. It kind of gets into your head a little bit at times. I'm wondering if maybe that was a thing, or if just he didn't get comfortable out there on the cold tires the way that Madden and Herman did, where they were able to pull away pretty quickly. It could be a whole bunch of factors there, and that final money stop out there on pit road, I think he did the right thing. You pointed out that you don't normally want to let people know what you're about to do, but he kind of had to, as close as everybody was. He had to call that out, and if the problem was, if he doesn't call it out, very likely he's getting shipped and turned around there before he even makes it to pit road. That was kind of a catch-22 position for him to be in.
So good to see a lot of these trucks that are under a little bit of damage and not up to speed out there getting out of the way of these championship drivers. Michael Madden cruising around this track. He's going to come off at turn number 4 and see 3 more laps to go before he crowns himself the Season 3 champion. Seeing a lot of support out there for everybody in this race. Who's going to come away with it?
I just looked at my second screen and saw 3 wide racing for a bit in the mid-pack and was thinking, okay, now might not be the time, guys, but they make it work. We stay green, everybody good to go as we come down to towards 2 laps to go for Ryan Johnson in the race and Michael Madden for the championship.
So he comes off at turn 4. I saw the incident back there with Jason Cracky. They keep it going in the same direction that everybody else is on the track, and we keep it green here with 2 laps to go for Michael Madden. Ryan Johnson, your race leader, but not in contention for this championship. A tough break for him. I know he's going to be eating away at himself, missing the chance to race for this $500 here tonight. But 6 more turns for the 15. Michael Madden, 1 lap to go after he gets out of turn 4.
And he just wants to see that 48 take the white flag before a caution comes out. Here we go. Ryan Johnson across the line. White flag. Next flag ends it for Ryan Johnson and Michael Madden. Madden 2.5 seconds clear for the title.
Yeah, not gaining any ground for Lane Doyle. He's sitting back there, like you said, 2.5 back. And a little bit of traffic, too, with the lap down truck back there. You got Ryan Johnson going by his teammate further ahead. He's going to go away with the win here tonight. But the man of the hour is going to be this 15 machine. Michael Madden, 1 more set of turns. Ryan Johnson comes off at turn 4. He's your winner here tonight, but your champion, Michael Madden.
Man, it feels like a long time coming there for Michael Madden, a prohibitive favorite in Season 1. You mentioned not the Season 2 that he might have wanted, but came back with a vengeance this season. Once we got to Talladega, he picked up that win, and it seemed like it was game on from that point on for that 15 Rat Pack Racing Ford F-150, and Michael Madden, 3rd season, finally gets his title.
Well deserving, too. He's one of the toughest racers out there. It takes a lot of pride in his iRacing. A former teammate of mine, I know him very well. He is going to be thrilled right now. A little bit of respect from Landon Cardulo there, showing him some love. And it's burnout time for the 15.
And we know that Michael Madden's had plenty of experience with these celebrations over the years, so this might be a pretty good one as he kind of lets everything play out around. Maybe give Ryan Johnson a chance to do a little celebration first if he chooses to do so. It seems like it's going to be all the stage for Michael Madden here to celebrate that title in Season 3.
There he goes. Burn it down, Michael Madden. Your TJ's team foundation winning moment for the 15. It's come down to 1 race, and all it took was a 2nd place run here tonight. Season 3 champion sounds pretty good, and I know he is going to be thrilled to put that on the name rail of that truck here after this one.
He's going to nose that thing up against the wall and just blow this thing up as he's going to take it the rest of the way. Actually, he's going to back it up and maybe give it a little bit more of a celebration out here, going backwards around that track and parking it. But, man, what a season this was. We saw so many different Cinderella stories possible, but it was one of the drivers that quietly put together a strong regular season, built up as it went, and once the playoffs started, got white hot. Michael Madden going to be holding that title to end this thing.
Well, there goes Ryan Johnson doing his reverse lap around the track. But giving all the time to Michael Madden here tonight. Congratulations once again to Ryan Johnson. But we are crowning a champion here, and your champion, Michael Madden, a great season. I mean, what's he got? 4 wins overall, 3 wins overall, among the best here along in the Truck Series. He's got his Rat Pack teammates celebrating along with him here. So this is going to be a lengthy one, Brandon.
Yeah, definitely seems it, as we got a whole bunch of trucks out there right now just going wild around this racetrack. But, yeah, you pointed out 3 race wins for Michael Madden, Talladega, Iowa, Homestead, 3 very different racetracks. This is 11th top 10, and yet another week where he finishes better than he starts, as he improved on that 13th starting position, finishing 2nd, and it leads to a trophy.
So he's going to go on and do a Polish victory lap right now. Why not? He is not wanting to give up the celebration just yet. We're going to let him finish the celebration before we bring him up here. And, yeah, so I think he's done yet, Brandon.
I might be waiting a bit if we're waiting on him.
Well, what do you say we just bring him up here then? Let me find him and bring him on up. Michael Madden, it is Greg Olenek and Brandon Domain. I am sure you are happy to be hearing from us tonight. You are the Season 3 champion, my dude. We were going to wait for you to finish celebrating, but we figured that might take all night.
Man, you know, I just lost for words. I've lost this stuff about as much as you, and as many ways as you can lose a championship. I found a way to lose them multiple times, and you know that from the many times we run. It's just nice to finally get one, boys.
Well, it is absolutely well-deserved. We were talking about, Season 1, one of the major favorites for that title. Just wasn't in the cards that time. Season 2, not quite the season that you anticipated, but Season 3, it seemed like you just got stronger and stronger as the season went. Kind of fitting, because you got stronger and stronger as this race went. I think the big telling point there, that final pit stop, man, walk me through that thing, because that put you out in front for that championship, and you were able to hold on the rest of the way.
Man, the amount of time I put in practice this week, I mean, it's been a lot of adversity all season long. Just myself, just to get to this point. I didn't think there's many races I would make just due to personal commitments that I have and stuff going on. But yeah, you know what? You preach it in the booth all the time. Pit stops, pit stops, pit stops. And I practiced them on old tires all week long. And I knew this was my opportunity. I had to match them. And I just drove it as deep as I could. And I almost slid through my pit stop, but I was lucky, man. It was just worked out, and I had the line, and I just kept going. And I was just kept getting updates, and I didn't look back.
Well, tell me, Michael, I mean, you've run in the playoffs each of the 3 seasons here in Speed Racing Network. Did that experience kind of pay off here finally in Season 3, kind of helping you settle the nerves? And coming into this thing here tonight, what was your mindset like? Were you a little bit nervous, or were you prepared for this one?
No, I went back and I watched pretty much every championship I've been a part of, and I was expecting a crazy fest. And just my mindset was just be there at the end and just have the speed and put yourself in position, because anything can happen. And I just kept the same steps, the same thing I've been saying to you guys all season up when I get up in the booth is just big picture, big picture. And it finally just paid off. The talent in this season was probably one of the best, at least I've been a part of, and you can't win every race, and I finally got out of that mindset that you just got to be there at the end, and I was finally there at the end tonight.
Well, Brandon, you got anything else for our champ here?
I mean, hey, just let it out, man. You got that championship finally. What all? It's been 3 seasons in the making, but what all does it mean for you here tonight?
No, it means a lot, man. I got a lot of stuff going on personally and moving in the next couple of weeks here up north, and it's just like I got a lot of things finally coming together, and this is just kind of the icing on the cake. As simulated racing can get, this is the best it gets, boys.
Well, congratulations once again. Well deserved, man. Before we let you go, you got any friends, any sponsors, any family? I know you got a ton of family out there watching right now. They're all super pumped right now. Who you got to thank?
Yeah, how long you guys got? I want to thank all the MM15 crew. My mom, my fiance, even my brother. He started and had a lot of stuff going on. Didn't finish the season. I really want to shout out the Rat Pack boys. A lot of shake up in the middle of the season. And, Yost and Duke and everybody and Blair and Brad, everybody opened us in with open arms. And I couldn't be more ecstatic what we got going on over at that camp and what season 4 holds for us. And it's just a good family. And I just want to, Mr. Kosher for Sparkle and Shine, you're able, all they do for us. It's just 3 seasons. And I finally got the man a championship, even though he won one before me. But hey, I'll take the SRN one back to him.
Well, we'll send you back down there to your teammates, man. Enjoy celebrating this one, and we're excited to see what you can do for Season 4. Are you going to be in the trucks again, or are we going to kick you out?
Hey,
move you on up to Xfinity here. What are we doing? What's your plans?
I don't know yet. We're still got stuff in the works. We'll
couldn't get it, Brandon. Tried to get the deets, tried to get the deets there for Season 4. Nothing leaked, though, from Mike O'Madden. Congrats, man. Have fun celebrating.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, there is your champion here tonight. But let's go ahead, head back up to the blimp. We got Ryan Johnson here sitting patiently waiting in the waiting room. We're going to give him his moment of glory since he did come away the winner here tonight. So let's bring the 48 on up here in the booth. Ryan, congratulations. I know you wish we'd be talking to you for other reasons here tonight, but you cap off the season with your 8th win of the night. How's it feel to end it strongly like that?
Well, what else can you do after what happened last week? Yeah, that was the only goal in my mind. Us to bring home the points championship and just get another win. But hopefully, set a record or I don't know, something, whatever we can. Just keep doing what we've been doing all season. And yeah, came away with it. I mean, I'll take it. I'll always take a win. Good run.
Yeah, that was a heck of a run tonight. 8th win on the season, which that's the most we've ever had in one season at any level in SRN. So congratulations on that. Looks like JW Racing the team championship as well. Like Greg pointed out, maybe not the absolute high note, but an incredible season that you put together. What's that do for you as we get a little bit of a break here over the summer, and then you can kind of regroup and get looking towards Season 4?
Yeah, some much needed time off. I'm actually sick right now. I don't know how I would fare if it would affect me in the race tonight, but didn't hurt, so that's good. But yeah, the little break will be nice. I'm sure we got some big things coming at JW. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season. I don't want to give nothing away. I don't know what everybody else knows, but some people might have expected it, what's going to happen, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to next season.
Man, the tease. God, you're killing me.
Level teasing right there.
Right?
I got to keep you guys wanting more, right?
Well, absolutely, man. Well, a valiant effort this season, a record-breaking season, I do believe, with 8 wins here in the Truck Series. Go ahead, lick your wounds over the off season, and we will see you coming back strong. I have no doubt for Season 4, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Congrats to all the championship guys.
Awesome, man. Well, take care, and we'll see you next season. That was Ryan Johnson, your winner here tonight. So, Brandon, we've crowned 2 champions. 1 more to go tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series race.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the show to be watching. Well, I'll be somewhere in the mid-pack probably around Homestead. But yeah, this is a racetrack. We talk about it all week long. There's so many ways that you can get around here. Looks like that bottom line for the Cup Series and the trucks really was that line that you really want to be comfortable in. But these Xfinity cars, such a completely different animal. So it's going to be interesting to see how everybody hangs on to them tomorrow night. But we got our Championship 5 there and in the Purple Series, the Xfinity Series, to see who can walk away as our champion there in that mid-level here in SRN.
Yeah, so the Xfinity Series race tomorrow is going to wrap up our Season 3 action here on Speed Racing Network. I can't believe that. It is wild to me that 60 races have just flown by, 61 counting the All-Star race, have just flown by just like that, but we can't do it without the fans just like you out at home. So here is your champion, Michael Madden, the Season 3 champ here in SRN. Congrats once again to Mr. Madden and the rest of our field. First place going to Madden. Second going to Lane Doyle. Third going to go to Brad Herman. Fourth place going to go to Andrew Harris. And the fifth place position going to go to Trevor Williams. Sean Jensick going to be that sixth place driver. So that's your final finishing order. JW Racing is your team champions here tonight, and I believe Blair Holling comes away with that Tier 2 championship as well. So it's all wrapped up, Brandon. It's in the books. Thanks to you, as always, for joining me here in the booth. It just kind of feels normal now after we've done this for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of weird to be thinking this is going to be the last one here for quite a little bit here, as we got the nice lengthy break. We got a couple months until we get fired up for season number 4, but of course we got the Xfinity Series race tomorrow before we head into that summer vacation, and then we get to look forward to it all over again at Daytona in October.
All right, so definitely stay tuned for updates. We leaked the season 4 schedule a little while ago. Go ahead further on back in the broadcast and go ahead and check it out. It's a good looking one. We'll have another reveal tomorrow during the Xfinity Series race as well, but above all, we're going to crown our final champion of the season. So come on back, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you know exactly when we go live. But for myself, Brandon Domain, all the admins, all the drivers here, and all the fans in the stands, we sincerely appreciate you guys so much, and definitely come on back. Good night, and go faster.